live. We are here. We're on. Let me check audio. Audio's good. Audio, Yeti. Yeah, Yeti's good.
All right. Welcome.
Hello.
Everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Couch Cooperative. I am our continuous Dungeon Master as we've had over this entire campaign, and we are excited to provide our finale as we wrap up our first campaign here on stream as a group, the Tyranny of Dragons, as we wrap up our adventure through the rise of Tiamat. Our only announcement that we have before we get started is that we will be taking a few weeks off in hiatus between this campaign and our next. I can announce that our next full-length campaign that we will be playing is the, again, 5th edition adventure module, the Storm King's Thunder, which is to a degree a direct sequel following the events of this game. And that will begin in 3 weeks from today. We have a post-campaign review that we have to get done so that we can continue to improve our craft, as well as a session 0 so that we can prep the characters that we've been working on and make sure that we've covered our bases in preparation for our first episode of that adventure.
Put it away. Put it away.
That big old blue wand.
With the glitter.
You know, he's just a...
It's my magic.
He's an enchanter. That's all it is.
Each star is someone
It's my favorite color.
That's actually a necromancer's wand.
Is this your dice?
What is that thing's genuine purpose? Like,
Looks cool.
why does it exist?
Just to fidget with.
Really?
You got it
That seems fair.
from the Scholastic Fair.
Roughly. So without further ado, let's begin.
Go.
So last we left off, the Sword of the Council, leaving the city of Waterdeep from the massive dragon attack that was brought against it, had gathered their faction alliances, having secured every faction gathered at the Council of Waterdeep. No faction withheld their support, and a grand army of all mortal races was
So
massed
happy.
thanks to your diligence in resolving the quests laid before you since the first council was gathered. The workings of civilizations, of people, of cities that would once have been very tense in these types of alliances and waging war together and standing beside each other in arms, you were able to pull off effortlessly by bringing awareness to the rising escalation of the Cult of the Dragons plot, their goal to release Tiamat from the Nine Hells. With the location of the Well of Dragons, this very symbolic and ritualistically important location, divined, with its location determined and found for you, you took flight. And upon arriving at the Well of Dragons, you saw the armies of man, dwarf, and elves alike, and a mixture of all the other humanoid races that were gathered within these grand armies, rush onwards to destroy kobolds and mercenaries and cultists and dragons, even, with the army of gold dragons that you've acquired, or metallic dragons that you've acquired. The Sword of the Council was swift in getting to the top of a temple that was newly erected in Tiamat's name, and found a portal in which Severin, having assembled the Mask of the Dragon, a 5-headed crown, had breached the mortal realms, had created a tear between planes, and had walked through it with multiple followers. You rushed to get there, and were surprised by an onslaught of creatures and demons and devils that were trying to cut you off from this portal. Your allies in arms, Einar Wolfson and Vidania Cardenel, had stood behind in order to keep the portal safe alongside Procanther, the Gold Dragon, King's Justice, whose goal was to work together to protect this portal so that you had a return route. Upon crossing the threshold, Severin had his followers sacrifice their lives, giving their blood for the fulfillment of this ritual, which was successful. Tiamat was brought forth from the Nine Hells, and in this rift between realms, this highway from the mortal realm and the Nine Hells, the fate of the world was fought. It was fought for. The four of you waged a massive battle against Tiamat, against the five-headed dragon goddess, the scaled tyrant herself, and emerged victorious. With a last-ditch effort and a miraculous recovery from a otherwise potentially fatal blow by Hakon Guntz, who immediately jumped into the fray and was able to secure the killing blow.
The jaws were around me, right? Because I was thinking about it the next day after it had happened.
Yeah, because she downed you, and then you would have
Gone down, but
gone down, and then
stayed
you
up.
rolled. You're down for 20, and you had 1 hit point, and then your turn was up.
I was thinking about it. I was like,
I drink from this cup, but like I can't because my players are not crying. You were successful. The world was spared. The tyranny of dragons was not brought into fruition, and villages as small as your hometown of Greenest and Parnass were spared from the ongoing destruction and devastation. Major cities like Waterdeep and Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate and Elturel were spared similar fates, like the one that that Waterdeep almost faced if you had lost to Nox Everest's assault. Lux. As you guys are flying out of
rock on.
What did I do wrong?
Rock on.
I'm trying to elevate one of your champions, my guy. He's just like, nope. As the six of you, with Vidania and Einar as well, having gotten on Procanther's back after the battle, you had flown away from the temple, which was beginning to implode. The shockwave that Procanther was successful in flying past. Your vision gets blurry. Your body is failing because of the mass amount of exertion that you had put into manipulating the very nature of reality. A wish was cast. One that, to this point, had dropped you, I think, unconscious twice, if I'm correct.
I think it was like
3 times. Your body is sore.
3 times. Holy
You feel like your life is draining from you, but you're not afraid of death. Your body gets weak, and everyone can see it. They try to hold on to you. You drop. You collapse on Procanther's back. You remember seeing everyone around you in some concerned state. The voices starting to muffle and then get slurry and become static. Their features being crystal clear to shaky to blurry to darkness. You succumb. You fall unconscious. You don't wake for another week.
Jeez.
No way.
But as you wake, there is someone in this room
Me.
who has not left your side since you've been interred.
Me.
No. You've been busy.
No way. What else do I have to do?
Yes, way. You've been busy. You wake up slowly, and in fact, you're being aroused from your sleep catches your attention as you sit at kind of a corner side. What would reasonably within a week's worth of time, what would Nute do to fill in your free time? Because you're just present. There's not much you can offer. He's fine. He was stable. It was more someone just should probably be here.
I mean, I feel like I'd be like, the entire time I'd be like reading. I'd be reading books. You know,
Okay.
Just waiting.
You read books. Would you read for personal, I guess, like personal satisfaction, or for like to study, to learn?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
That doesn't answer the question. Which one?
I'm sorry. Well, like, I guess, like, just to learn. Just
To
like,
learn.
Just randomly.
Okay. With your recent experiences, you begin to study a bit into the divine, into the realms of the gods and the intermixes of gods and goddesses and the wars that were waged, and you learn about a bit about the nine hells and some demonology, and it's been very textually dense, but informatively very, very rich, very rich. You notice as he's starting to kind of wake up slowly, as you begin to rise, your lips are chapped, your mouth dry. You haven't been conscious for a week, so I can't imagine you've been salivating the whole time. But as you get up and you kind of feel like that brief moment where like chapped lips kind of separate, almost like peeling off of each other. You take in a rasped breath. The room feels cold. It feels unnaturally cold as your senses kind of begin to return to your perception of them. Everything's very bright. The room's bright, the daylight coming in, the sun coming in from the nearby window, very bright, causing you to kind of, like squint, and you can only see things sparingly. There's someone in this room with you who's in the corner. He's got a book open, but kind of notices you waking up, and you can see kind of puts a hand in the book and kind of keeps it closed. What would be the first thing that you would do?
I think Lux would rub his eyes and
They're dry. they're crusted, and you have to get out like that eye gunk. It takes a second, but you get it all out. It's natural. It's not good, but it's natural.
so water.
Is there water in the room?
Yeah, there's a small pitcher of water they keep for you, and a few glasses you can pour.
I'll get up. I'll close my book. I'll look at you. You're finally awake. And then I'll grab a pitcher of water and pour it and give him a glass.
It's very, very refreshing. You absolutely down this water, and the dryness of your mouth, the dryness of your throat, of your lips, kind of rejoices at the arrival of this water, but it was too quick, so everything kind of, like, you just have this like unnatural feeling. You need more water, and so you start to drink more slowly throughout the time to just get your hydration back. You notice that you are, because you can hear the sounds of bells going off, a bell tower that you used to live in. You can see it off in the distance. Your old home, standing tall as you're in the city of Waterdeep, and you hear the sounds of boats. You can hear like the seagulls and the chirping. You can hear the liveliness of the town. For once in a long time, you're actually able to really be present in the jovialness of the common folk, of the people who you've spent the past year fighting for. You can see outside there are a few of the metallic dragons that are present. They're not making the place unnaturally, like, unnerving, or their presence is very well welcome. You can see out of the window, just even from the bedside, as you have a great view. It was requested personally to ensure that you had it, where you can oversee the docks, and there is a bronze dragon amidst the water, and kind of coming up out of the water and getting back in, and bringing this very mixed vibe to Waterdeep that hasn't been present. For once, since Greenest, you do not hear the sounds of screaming. You don't hear the seriousness of dire circumstances. For once in a long time, it has been truly peaceful, and that's what you wake up to. Everyone at the table, you've all been experiencing this over the past few days. In fact, the lack of adventuring has come a bit of a culture shock for you all. You guys are walking legends. You've slain a god. The gravity of that, a week later, hasn't sunk in. They've begun writing ballads and epics and poems in your name. Some that go as far back that you even wondered how people knew of this information, as they have ballads and epic songs and triumphant cheers in the name of the Greenest Three, that far back. And then some that talk about the Sword of Four. The stories that get woven in your name are well crafted. It's been weird. They have this mythic celebrity status where common sailors will, I guess not sailors because none of you have that sailory vibe, but farmers and blacksmiths and even monastic scholars come up to you and with some level of reverence even. While Arboris, you've never been, don't take it offensively, you've never been the intellectual on the side of monastic life. To even see scholars come to you with some level of respect and reverence outside of just like warriors who you actually share a kinship with, a camaraderie with. You understand battle, you understand fighting. So for them, it feels brotherly, it feels sisterly, it feels familial. But with people that are so different from you, to receive that same level of love and to receive for Hakon, to receive it from the nobility as you lived your life out in the wilderness, to have some of the lesser nobles in Waterdeep, because their entire noble structure is mixed of lesser nobles and upper nobles and people that run these mass monopolies across certain fields of economic pursuits, and others that, like sleeping with people on the weekends and are really good at having massive parties. To have a level of reverence from them, that with worlds apart you can feel so close. The world feels different, and has been for quite some time. And all of that kind of back to you as you're able to get up out of, right? Oh god! Sudden realization of all these poems! But you're able to get out of bed. Your body is still weak, and in fact Nute kind of has to help you up and get out as your body just kind of reacclimates itself. Standing up, your blood kind of flows, throughout your body, and you have a feeling in your legs that comes back slowly and fades. And within a few moments, there's like a slight tapping on the door.
Tea?
I'll kind of like hobble over to the door. The best
You
I
hobble. I would imagine they would have had a walking stick prepared for you to give him. So let me ask you, would you like a walking stick where you hold the handle, kind of like those classic old man's sticks where you hold the knob and it's waist height? Or would you prefer a full stick that you can lean into, like a staff of sorts?
I like the idea of like a cane.
Like a cane,
Yeah.
right? So it's like a twisted wood. It's very, very fancy in make and design, and has it was designed by some of the priests of Ogma, then crafted by woodworkers and some metalsmiths to kind of design it. Knowing that you were blessed by the gods, they went and got that kind of made for you specifically. So you get up and
Look at you, Mr. President.
you get to the door and you open it, both of you standing, kind of side by side, and as the door opens, you see just on the other side of it, you see Lady Laryl Silverhand, the current Open Lord of Waterdeep, one of the delegates on the council who represented from the Lord's Alliance the city of Waterdeep. a lot has been said of her. That I explained to you guys briefly that she is not normal in terms of her abilities. She's definitely a very powerful person. And so it comes at no surprise as to why she's immediately present. And as the door opens, I knew that you had awoken. I arrived to ensure that everything was good, that you are fine. If you need anything, please do not hesitate. I wish to make sure that you're well accommodated.
There's only one thing I can really think about right now is I'm starving.
I imagined so. What would you prefer? I can have everything either. It depends on your level of starvation. And she actually is going to go ahead and cast Create Food, and produce just an apple and then a small loaf of bread, like an Outback Steakhouse size loaf of bread, and give that to you. Allow this to let you hold over for now.
You fucking
What
poor person.
What shall I have prepared for you? I'm assuming the rest of your companions would require food as well, and I will get ready to go inform them of the oncoming lunch.
I would say something with chicken and apple pie.
That is a unique range. I will let the chefs know and have it prepared within the hour.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And she kind of apparates out and is gone.
I'm starving. Oh, would you like a piece of bread and an apple? You fucking
Absolutely munching.
you
that
surf.
stuff.
You guys are currently alone again after she's left. And I want you two, so our Boris and Hakon, you guys can just roll me a d20, which just will help me kind of integrate you in before lunch.
That 20. 16.
11.
11. Okay. At about this time, Arboris, you're actually getting ready to walk down the hallway. Around this time, you just check in on Lux, just to make sure that he's good, taken care of, and you are actually caught surprised as the door is wide open and he's standing amidst the doorway with a cane in hand.
Oh, hello there, cripple. It's been a while.
Go ahead. I'm gonna have to give you an inspiration on that one. That's good.
Feels good to hear your humor again, Boris.
I'm glad to see you're doing well.
Thank you. Did everyone make it out of the fight all right? I didn't have much time to look back.
Everyone that came in with us left out alive, as far as I know. Where were you all headed?
Well, the chef's preparing food in about an hour, so probably try and walk this leg off, get a little used to it, and then head over to dinner.
Shoot, well, do you mind if I join you?
What time of day is it?
Of course.
It's
Like,
getting close to noon.
okay.
Yeah. You have to get dressed. You're not completely devoid of clothes, but you have like some light like sheepskin pants and a cotton shirt on.
Oh, okay.
But you go ahead and you actually see there's a bundle of your clothes, like
Where
your
are my
silks.
silks?
And as you go and get them prepared, you notice that your veins, which you hadn't noticed before because all of your body was pretty much covered, but as you're disrobing, you start to notice that a lot of your veins across your body have this darkened look to them. And it looks as if it isn't the first of like this discoloration, but it does look like it is actually getting better, which seems to be coinciding with your physical state and your recovery from this wish spell. The discoloration will go away as time moves on, but you kind of notice like how much this really took a toll on your body, and especially because that was a rough. Just imagine taking that much necrotic damage before casting spells. It's just crazy. But you get your clothes on. You get put up in your normal silks. You put on your turban, which you have not had on in quite some time, and you feel back to your days in Greenest and before kind of all of this happened, and everything felt. Honestly, it feels like everything happened so quickly in what took months and months and months of well over a year of your life has finally come to a close, and it feels like it happened so fast. And it's hitting all of you guys as well. You get your clothes on, you head back out, and you are back in the room with Arboris and Nute as you kind of moved off to like a side room to get clothed. At this point, your leg doesn't feel as heavy. You comfortably can kind of limp without the cane. But you can walk perfectly fine with it for the time being.
Okay.
So you're still walking around with it. The three of you are kind of here. You know you have about an hour left. I can tell you two as well that there have been preparations made so that the day following Lux's awakening, that there is to be a celebration of sorts, as well as a ceremony to commemorate the four of you. So you know right away that means that things are going to get very busy very quickly. That the world around you, the city is about to start kind of getting busy with preparation. The plans have been made. Everything, like the itineraries are set. We know what's going to go on, but you know that now that Laryl Silverhand is aware of your awakening, that things are about to get moving. The city is going to get very lively, which will be great. It'll be great to have a little bit of fun. Life has been good over the past week, and there hasn't been much to complain. A lot of people have lost a lot, but what they were spared from losing even further overshadows any of the despair that they had felt, and you were able to provide them that, and for that it makes your week go a lot better. It's still rough to wrestle with, that you prevented, families from being torn apart, from, widows being made, orphans being made, cities being laid low, and from nature, from the countrysides, from the world, the actual earth, Toril, from being destroyed to some degree, cracked, burnt, scarred, ashed, and it's been pretty crazy. But the three of you do have just a little bit of some moment before we'll bring Hack on in, so you guys have some chance to kind of talk amongst yourselves and chat if you so wish.
So, now that you woke up from your nap, are you ready to go fight Tiamat? Oh, yeah, sorry, that's not funny, you're right, it's too soon.
It's a fucked up joke, of course. You know how much that spell hurt.
I'm gonna go pee real quick.
What
while you
was
guys
that?
are talking.
That was...
It's just a simple reality bending spell.
What? Excuse me, simple, and... I don't think I've ever even heard the word reality bending. I'm not sure what that means, to be honest.
It's, you know how some people pull spells from the gods? It's actually something like above that.
Are you just boasting, or what is going on here right
No,
now,
it's
Lux?
it was a really hard spell to cast, honestly. It hurts.
It looks like
really bad.
you couldn't really cast magic without... I don't know, it was weird. It was like something... I saw you take damage whenever you went and healed us all. It was very confusing. I couldn't understand any of it.
Yeah, from your perspective, it would be better described as like after there was a point where watching you cast magic looked as if it pained you, like agonizingly. Continue.
Nute, I'm not sure what was going on, but you were just there. Nothing hit you, nothing hurt you. I don't even think I saw you flinch once. What was happening there?
It's magic.
What do you mean? Oh, magic, of course. Obviously, I mean, I could never do anything like that.
It's just a simple protection spell.
What do you mean? What do you mean, just magic? I'm not sure what you mean.
It made it to where I wasn't able to take damage at all.
What do you mean by that?
Did you not see all the heads point at me at once and blew all the elements?
There was a point where all five of Tiamat's head had breathed their breath weapons at Nute, and he just stood there.
Did you really need us there then, or could you have just done that by yourself? I'm not sure.
No, I definitely needed you all there. It would have been terrible. But your spell, your wish was very, very brave of you. It does take quite a toll on your body.
I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised when Hakon even made it out of there alive. Did you see what was going on in the... I mean... I don't know, the spirit of Vidania must really... That kiss must have really hit him at the end.
Oh, by the way, the reason why I said that he's been very busy is because they've been inseparable since arriving back in Waterdeep.
I knew
They've
it.
been glued at the hip.
Bros. Simp IRL and in-game, dude.
Yeah,
No
whenever
shame.
she casts
No
message,
shame.
or whenever she casts sending and he gets that telepathic message, it's always, maybe.
The Hakon is blushing right now. You
Yeah,
guys can't-
it's
can't
been
see
so difficult to even get Hakon for like a moment of time.
Oh hell yeah.
So yeah, he's been busy.
Is he making baby?
No, no, he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah. He's a barbarian, alright? We all know what kind of guys barbarians are, alright?
Eventually.
Yeah, they one-shot their parties with evil swords.
And their teammates.
Oh yeah.
At about this point,
He's a rebellious.
actually,
face.
speaking of the devil, speaking of Hakon himself, as you guys are kind of talking about, you're explaining, like, yeah, ever since we got back, like, we've been fighting for his attention just to get some out of him. And he's just been glued to the hip. He actually arrives by himself, for once, comes as a shock to you all. But you arrive by yourself as you were informed that Lux had risen
Nice.
from his sleep.
So okay, so paint the scene for me. I show up.
You walk in the
where,
room.
Where are they?
They're all standing in a room, so a bedroom, massive open window with like a balcony that overlooks the docks. So it's a very, very vibrant, very naturally lit room. The door was not closed, but it was kind of cracked, and so you heard the sounds of everyone talking, and they were talking about you and about how lately you haven't left Vidania's side, and they were just explaining that to Lux, and as soon as that, like, you kind of can listen for a second before you kind of burst in, but once you open the door,
Wow.
the three of them are talking amongst themselves, and realistically all their attention was returned to you, so.
My friends, and I want to look at everyone, and I want to rage. And I want to bring out my ancestral guardians, and I want to just.
We'll say, for the
I want
sake
to
of
go
things
and
that,
give everyone a hug.
we'll say for the sake of things,
and I
because
want my
of your
guardians
guys'
to hug them.
we'll say because of the level of your power so far that I will allow you for this session to be able to bring them out without having to go ballistically raging.
But I want to rage when I hug him.
Sure.
Nice.
The biggest bear hug ever.
I hug him, and my ancestral guardians hug.
In fact,
Jay and
you
our
hear
Boris.
like you actually feel the crack kind of flying across your body, like chiropractically, and as it releases you, and you go, oh.
Poor Vidania.
No, like that was good. It felt good. It felt good.
So good, dude. And I want to kick your little cane to the side and say, "What is this? Can I make an attack on his cane to snap it?"
What?
What?
To snap
He
it?
doesn't need it.
Yes, he does.
It's very so like you see the cane. I'll let you kick it off to the side and it like clatters against the floor because it wouldn't just like you can't kick it and then just sit still and you're like, all right, mine now. You kick it and it kind of clatters and rolls off to the ground. But yeah, you're standing fine. You just will have to limp a little.
And I want to pat you on both the shoulders. And just, I see all his veins and everything going on.
Yeah,
in his
you all
body.
can see across his body, because his forearms and a bit of his chest is exposed, based off his original clothing, and the way that his miniature is
Alright.
appeared. Is all of his arms are exposed, even up to the
So I'm
elbows,
giving you
or
like
to
the
shoulders,
traditional,
sorry,
like
so.
I've got both hands on the sides of your shoulders, and I'm just gonna make a fist and kind of put it on your heart and say, "You'll be all right, man."
And then he casts death. 1 inch punch, boom.
And then I look at you guys. Do they look okay?
They're fine, yeah. Yeah, in
Nice.
fact, like you've passed them by throughout the week,
Okay.
but honestly, you've been walking through docks. You've been going through. You guys have taken some adventures briefly
What are you
out
guys?
of
What are
Waterdeep.
you guys wearing now?
Motherfucker!
I just want to.
I am monologuing over here about your time with Vidania, and you care about their clothes.
Hakon, where did your owner go? Did she let you walk without your leash today? What's going on here?
To explain how your week's been, because that should be a fun thing to learn. You've been traveling around the docks, the cities, the markets. Vidania has been teaching you the elements of city civility, learning to speak with people of a higher class,
Barbarian.
learning how to eat using proper utensils. It's been a very, very it's been a very adventurous week, learning new things and kind of struggling in some areas and doing pretty well in others.
Are they
It's
going
been-
on dates?
Yeah, so you guys take some little adventures outside of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
With her capabilities, the possibilities are endless. You can
Teleport.
travel.
Oh yeah, she really
Yeah.
already were.
You're right. So you teleport back to your home, and you actually stay there for a few days.
And we can watch you, fool.
Because your mother has not met Vidania, so you're able to introduce Vidania to your mother. You're
Oh,
able to
yeah.
introduce Vidania to your tribe.
Nice.
She gets to see a little bit of what like the tribal life is like, and she struggles with that. And she's very noble, very up. She has got an upright
I'm sure,
upbringing,
yeah.
and so
A little bit of cowboy.
it's difficult eating like spit roasted rabbit legs like right off the leg.
It's like two, yeah.
Well, when you
you
say
know,
it like that,
There's no fork and knife and cutlery. There's no, like bib or like the napkin things. Like there's none of that.
Listen.
So it's like, it's spittle and juices and messiness and, but it's fun. It's adventurous and again, the world is your oyster and you crack it open as
we
you see
call
fit.
it flame grilled rabbit.
You journey to a lot of different places. So she takes you to Neverwinter, for one, so that you can see the city of Neverwinter. She does journey with you for one day to Greenest. So this is why you have been able to find him, is because he hasn't been
went
in
on
Waterdeep all the
vacation.
time. Kind of, yeah. You go back to Greenest so that she can see pretty much your home, so where you've actually been living for a long time. Where you see that Governor Nighthill has fully recovered from his wounds, obviously from the assault on Greenest because he had a broken arm, and that was fun. You got to see Escobar the Red again, who's been doing good, Adian Falcon Moon, and a lot of the villagers, and that's been awesome. Linon Swift and her family's doing well. That was the mother and her husband, who's very injured, and their 2 kids. So she was fighting with you guys the night that Greenest was attacked. She had a spear and a shield. And you guys protected her from kobolds.
Damn.
You got to see everyone, and it was very awesome
That's
to
so
see.
cool, dude.
They have begun construction of a wooden monument carved out of a massive oaken tree that bears the likeness of the 3 of you. So you, Lux, and
Dang.
That's cool.
Arboris. And what you guys don't see is often Parnas, they're doing something similar, but specifically for New Tay. A lot of the cult members that were stationed there did fully separate, knowing that there was someone amongst them, aware of purple, that actually was able to step down.
Yeah.
And because of your persistence and your dedication, many people followed you, and the remnants that were left over in Parnas were able to portray the current wearer of purple that had been stationed there. They killed him off and basically brought back some level of peace and prosperity. Motivated by you, having gone up to Skyreach and killing Glazhail with the group and Resmir and all them, and so in Parnas they have a smaller something to commemorate you, knowing full well that they've heard that you killed Tiamat, and the news comes to some places, some smaller towns, especially like out in the Savage Frontier, up in the north in Icewind Dale. The news comes with a bit of skepticism from farther places, like 4 people killed a god? Like, come on, what are you talking about? No way. But in a lot of the places that have seen the wrath of dragons, they're overjoyed. They're overwhelmed with peace, and unfortunately, as time will go by, it won't always be that way. And there will always be someone else. There's always another Severin. But for the time being, you get to bask in the calm that you've brought, and the fears that have been assuaged, and the worries, and I mean, hell, there haven't even been bandit attacks over the past few days. It's been nice just to travel. Even the bandits are sitting in their homes. Yeah, even the bandits are doing well. The bandits are like, thank God we don't have to pillage because there's dragons out, so we don't have to go kill these guys yet. But we'll do that next week when we run out of food. We'll save it off for a while. But yeah, so the 4 of you are in there, and you get asked if Vidania has let you off of her leash. Your leash.
Well, I think that that's only fitting because Atronaut also said getting all domesticated and junk.
Correct. It's very much like a Tarzan and Jane scene where she's showing him like on the slides. Very, very much like that.
Oh god.
Yeah, she's trying to
So-
civilize you to some degree, but you're also unleashing her inner primalness. It's a weird
She's a
word that I just
warrior.
made up.
You're making her rage.
She's a warrior lady.
Well, that happens.
I,
Moving on.
In response to what you said, I say, well, I have been seeing all kinds of places lately, and I learned how to use a fork and knife.
I'm proud of you.
Roll,
Hakon.
roll an insight check.
Inside.
All of you guys.
Inside.
Not you.
Aw.
Not you. You actually roll a persuasion check to see
Okay.
how well you can pass off that you learned how to use a fork and knife. They've traveled with you for over a year. This is not something that's coming off well. Fork and knife?
I rolled an
Wait, I'm
18.
just-
18, okay.
I got a 6.
I rolled a 17.
18.
18. This hits you like a fork and knife? You guys are like good for you, good for you. Finally, you'll stop eating and getting chunks and ugh. But you're like, no way.
Hakon, you really learned to use a fork, finally.
Yeah, and you can walk without a cane finally.
Very hard. It's very hard to walk without a cane.
As he goes, he picks it up and just kind of rests on it for a bit.
Hakon, that's a little insensitive to our friend who is partially the only reason we're all alive right now.
I know.
Not everyone can get angry enough to not feel pain.
I feel pain.
Yeah, but when you're really angry,
I
doesn't
feel it on
look
the
like
inside.
He's gonna feel the pain when he's gonna feel the pain when him and Vidania don't work out anymore.
What do you mean? We work out all the time.
Oh no, I know.
I flex.
Oh, you're right. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Hakon. You're right.
My tattoos. Calm. Anyways, are you feeling okay? I mean, I know you did a lot. I see everything. I know you can.
I mean, everything aches, and I'm in so much pain, but I've never been happier. We finally set out in something that I've been wanting to finish since I was a child. Was killed that goddamn dragon.
Wait, you knew about her since you were a child?
I mean, they're the reason my parents died.
Yeah, I recognize that. I mean, I guess retrospectively it makes sense.
I didn't know her name.
Just learned that word, by the way.
Do you still hold the resentment towards that dragon? That
It was a Luthra, the grass dragon,
Yeah,
that
so-
had been tasked with destroying your village.
Because my parents were part of the cult, right?
They were a part of a cult.
A cult.
They were very,
Bad people.
from what it was told to you, they were very, very evil. That there was nothing in the village that was good, worth saving.
if anything, Lux, I'd say you were saved. If you weren't, if the circumstances did not arise the way you were, you would have been brought and raised up into a cult as well.
And we wouldn't be here.
I would have been like my brother.
And it is part of it too that maybe Lux wrestles with. I don't know. You can tell for certain. To have a prophecy as specific that was spoken over both your life and your brother's in itself, in the nature of your prophecy that blessed you with the divine essence that gives you your magical capabilities. Was it predetermined? Was your life really your own? Maybe that's something you wrestle with now. Maybe it's not. But to recognize that like fate happened. Like fate happened as it said it was going to, and you were an instrument of the god's will in order to ensure the safekeeping of the mortal realms. Your entire life was quite literally forged, cultivated, meticulously crafted to this point.
Good thing we won, right?
Well, it should only instill our faith in our ancestors and our gods.
I mean, part of me is happy that the prophecy's finally over. I feel like I can live my life without expectation.
What do you,
Holding on to that cane, your life's over, buddy.
Hey, whoa. I'll heal.
what do you
Sure.
plan? What do you plan on doing, Lux? Now that it's all over.
I mean, I'll probably continue to adventure because it's just in my blood. But I think I'll end up building a home and starting a family.
Adventure? What else is there left for you to do? I don't think anything could stop you at this point.
Well, it's a big world out there. I mean, there's definitely people who still need help.
Alright, well, there'll always be a spot for you here, so just keep that in mind.
You guys get ready and gather the last of your stuff and depart from the room. And Lux, as you leave, you kind of look back across the ocean, kind of like a. You think for a second you see this like celestial like a force image if you think of like Star Wars at the end of the original trilogy
No way, bro.
of your brother
No way, bro.
as a child.
What?
As a child.
Damn, before he's been corrupted,
Oh, man.
And he's sitting on the balcony, his legs are kind of swinging back and forth, and you don't see that same malicious nature that has been very
No,
present
you
and
see
has
the
marked him
innocent
for
and the
your entire
pure.
childhood, for your entire life. For a brief moment, it's like unlocking memories of your very, very earliest childhood that was quite literally burnt into flames, burnt into ash and cinder from dragon fire. It's a pleasant sight, and unfortunately, you don't have any ability to. It happens very quick. You see it, and you feel that, and then you close the door behind you.
roll a con check to see if you cry.
You can cry if you wish.
I think Lux would, he would shed like a single tear.
A single tear. A single tear breaks.
Do we see it?
Man.
You
can't say
I would
that.
Say with your passive perception, you would. If you guys absolutely want to see it, you can roll a perception check. That's fine. Because he does take a second to leave, so it would make sense as you guys
Can
are
I
waiting,
roll-
like you're watching him.
Can I roll a perception check for all of my guardians?
No.
I wanna kind of like slowly just kind of
You see like the glistening of it as it falls down because it's water. It's reflective.
I just kind of want to stand up next to Lux and go, "It's over now. We've won. There's no more fighting. You don't have to if you don't want to."
Oh, I know. Just an echo of my past.
I understand.
Can I step up on the other flank of Lux?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say, sometimes it's not about the fight. Sometimes it's about making peace, especially with our pasts.
You've really improved, Hakon. Remember, you used to yell at everything.
Well, he has someone to get the testosterone out with, of course. That's.
Now you're throwing inspirational quotes.
Using big words. Using forks and knives.
Has
Who
Hakon's
is this man?
has Hakon's intelligence score gone up at all?
No, you have true sight, so you don't even have to worry about if he's a shape changer or not. He is. No, I'm just kidding.
Hazaron actually did replace Hakon.
To that-
It's a doppelganger.
To that I say to you, it actually is the effect of my sword. Valkyrie tends to whip me into line when I'm being a fool. And so does Vidania now.
What's good?
I also, and I wanna turn to Newt and say, Newt, you wanna come over here? Step into this conversation. I mean, cause where are we at right now?
You guys are all outside
we're
the
all
door. Yeah,
standing
you're
there.
not like
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah, just come over here real quick. Get in the little circle.
Can we do a freeze frame?
We're like a bunch of high schoolers standing around together in between class, dude.
I'll come up.
And I'm gonna say, guys, I want to marry Vidania.
Hakon, it's been a week, alright?
Give yourself another point of inspiration, man.
Alright.
Oh, so that was so good. I'm sorry. That was fun. That got me.
Hagon doesn't laugh like that. Hagon says, But it's been the best week of my life for Boris.
Hakon, I'm not saying she's not the one.
She taught me how to use a fork and knife for Boris.
He's back to yelling.
I'm not saying she's not the one for you. I'm just saying.
And it's been more than a week. It's been over a year now. And sure, it's been limited
Several months.
interactions
The year was from Greenest.
here and there.
Hakon,
But
let me tell you something an old friend told me once. Love is better when you let it marinate. Give it time.
I have given
Let
it
it-
time.
You've. All right, Hakon. You know I won't stop you. You can make your own decision now. At this point, I've given you my
You
advice.
killed dogs. What do I do? Tell you no?
I want to walk up to our Boris, and I want to give our Boris the same double side shoulder, and I'm gonna stare you dead in the eyes, and I'll say, "Oh, Boris, thank you for showing me that it's okay not to see the world the same as everyone else." And then I'm gonna give you that same fist on the heart.
We'll be a part of the same family in a way if you marry Vidania. She works for my blood father. You know.
And then I'm
That's
just
like
gonna,
a distant third cousin.
I'm
at
gonna-
least,
I'm gonna
right?
reach my hand
As an
around-
employee, like,
I'm gonna reach my hand around to the
Something
little
like that.
satchel of mine, and I'm gonna jingle around all my platinum and gold, and I'm gonna say, "Not anymore."
You guys, with laughter and with love and with joyfulness on your hearts weighing heavy, you rush to dinner and are greeted with a well-prepared set of chicken breasts and chicken cutlets and all these different
Nice.
types of chickens. They prepared as many different types as they could conceive.
Nice. Chicken.
And it's just chicken. And then 3 apple pies. Very, very,
Oh,
very
it's 'cause
fresh
it's
baked
lots
apple
of-
pies.
Yeah.
The chefs were given very clear instructions. to
Whose
prepare
idea
chicken
was this?
And apple pies was prepared for you at a table.
Oh
And,
my gosh.
It's delicious. It's absolutely delightful to have
Alright.
the Open Lord of Waterdeep's
If it's good
private,
chicken, it's good chicken.
private chefs prepare you food. Wow, like, God. I don't even want to know that all of it was just created magically, but it's beautiful. Just a
Wait,
bunch of wizards in the back just create food. It's just boom. Just create nuke real quick so that it nukes up when it's getting cold.
What are the components?
Create
for
nuke's
that?
probably the wrong way of saying that spell. Gotta kill a streak. Boom.
Like cow poop.
And yeah, so you eat lunch
Just
and
a little bit
you
of
just kind of go on to
prestidigitation.
out the rest of your day. The rest of your day goes by relatively well. You walk around the town or walk around the city.
Can I? Where are we at?
Waterdeep.
I want to go retrieve that sword that I had upgraded.
Yeah, you finally get that sword.
Nice.
Yeah,
Can I?
it's a +1 greatsword.
Can I also go to a ring maker?
Yeah, we'll say that you've been doing that as you've gone throughout the week. So you do have a ring available for you. Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. Surprisingly, people haven't been asking you for anything in return when you ask for things. With the amount of money that you have throughout your journey, you're actually quite used to being the person that gets asked, like, hey, it's this much. It's come as a weird shock to you, but everyone's like, that's what you want? Yeah, here you go.
Can I finally get a ring of protection?
Sure. You get one plus 1 ring of protection.
I'm ready for our 1v1.
No. That's not applicable to that fight, dude. This is all post
Dude, one more fucking AC.
Alright, dude, then I get a ring too.
Okay, fine. You can have
You
a ring
just
of
got one.
protection.
No, one of those rings.
Well, you can't marry Vidania with a ring of protection.
Yeah, true.
No, but for myself.
How many rings?
Because
he
he
Why
wants
do you
to
wanna
take
marry
that.
yourself?
He wants to take the ring of protection into a 1v1.
Right.
But I already have-
I need a ring of protection.
I already gave you guys my preemptive thoughts on what that would turn into.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
are you
Yeah,
worried?
but now you're throwing in another.
But he thinks you're gonna
But now
destroy
you're
me
throwing in
anyways.
another variable. Another variable.
But he thinks you're gonna
To the
destroy me.
scientific process, you would disrespect it like that. Einstein
Yeah.
would be ashamed.
Good.
Nick, are you scared of
I
the
am
forest?
scared now that you have a ring.
Dude, it's +1 AC.
After everything's said and done, your day concludes. You rest, and
I don't
we
like that
arrive.
math.
We arrive at the celebration that is being provided in your honor. The streets of Waterdeep are filled with fanfare. There is streamers. There's kids running around with sparklers and cracklers and fireworks. Street mages that are performing tricks with little fire, like little balls of fire and motes of light. Entertainers. You have people like actual live musicians. You have juggling acts. Like circus style acts with tame beasts. The temple here. There's a temple of Gond, the
Dude,
god
can I
of
have my
creation,
spirits
who's
out?
got all these like contraptions that provide entertainment for some of the children and like some games. There's like different like carnival style games that are going on. You see some nobles who provided like kind of the bare minimum. So you have like these levitating instruments that are magically imbued to like just play basic music, and that's like, oh, we got to provide something. So that you have like all of this mixture, but the city is alive. It's alive. It's thriving. It's vibrant. The pulse is rich with life. You see families that are happy. You see shopkeepers that are generous. You see
That's kinda cool,
you see the city watch. So in Waterdeep, there's the city watch and the city guard. The guard protects the city from the outside. The watch protects the city from the inside, and then you have the Griffin's cavalry. So the Griffin's cavalry is out. They're active. These mounted soldiers on their massive Griffin and Hippogriff mounts, and they're kind of flying around, and it's a sight to see. Just adds a little bit and kind of like the fanfare. Some of the dragons that are present, so Brocanther is still around, as well as Oteri Leocarnos and Eleuthera. So those three are still here. And kind of like with their dragon breaths, they're providing like some shows, Brocanther's a little frustrated to have to be reduced to providing entertainment for children. He's an ancient gold dragon. He's the king's justice.
Come on, granddaddy.
But at the same time, Bahamut as a god is also a god of life, and so to be able to bring entertainment into people's lives is just as much important to the quality of life as ensuring that life gets to go on. So he does it begrudgingly, and you can tell like when you walk past Brocanther and he's blowing smoke rings. He's not having the greatest time of his life, but he's doing it because he probably doesn't want to get his king's justice title revoked again. So But you guys are actually brought processionally, so you're actually put into a carriage, and you've been being horse-drawn down all throughout Waterdeep with this going on around you. You're brought to the council chambers, and just outside the council chambers, they have crafted this massive stage. They have a podium that's up at the top of it, and you can see Laryl Silverhand up there as well, along with a lot of other people. All the delegates are there: the Long Winterhound, Romalio Haventree, Older Ravengard, Daniel Neverember, Sir Istval, Bron Anvil. We're talking King Melindrock. All of them. As well as your father. You do see your father's present as you get
hell
out.
yeah.
And he stands next to his wife.
My mom?
And a very uncomfortably looking younger brother who definitely does not want to be here because there's too many people that are present.
I forgot about
I love
it.
that guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Too many people present, and he looks like he doesn't like people, so he's just in that phase of his youth. But you guys are brought out, and they kind of usher you onto the podium, and crowds start to gather, and the podium's kind of it's a stone base, very well carved stone base, and as you step onto it, you start to feel a sense of weightlessness that kind of catches you guys for a second, and magical energies that were crafted into the bottom of the stone begin to levitate this podium, this entire stand, to where it's visible throughout the city, and you actually overlook streets that are packed from side to side, from front to back, with people. Now you obviously can't see like they look like ants, but they're swarmed. And Laryl Silverhand goes ahead and with two of her fingers puts it up next to her throat and goes ahead and casts thaumaturgy. Her voice amplified, but I'm not gonna shout. Fine people of Waterdeep, a resilient people. Today is a day that we get to move forward with our lives. We get to move forward in the brightness of a sun that is not obscured by the darkness of death, of despair, of hopelessness. Where roadways are not fraught with danger. Where towns are not at risk. of destruction. Before you stands a sword forged by the finest of smiths this world has to offer. The gods. This sword was bequeathed to the people of Waterdeep, unbeknownst to them. She looks at the four of you as you guys are standing on this stage. A sword that was wielded by the people of Waterdeep, unbeknownst to them. I present to you in a concentrated effort to direct your gratitude, to direct your hope, your joy, your relief to the sword of the council, the whole city. I need you guys to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my goodness gracious, dude. Yeesh.
Oh, it's a 7. I thought I rolled a nat 1. I was scared for a second. It's an not
Is it
nat
magic
9.
induced?
A 9? Okay. You can't help yourself but start crying.
23.
It's tears of joy.
Okay.
Tears-
23.
Okay, you are not compelled.
Can I be
to
modest
cry.
though? Just like have like a, just go like.
Yeah, but like you can't help it. You're like, yeah. What did you roll?
19.
19?
12.
12. You already cried today. You also can't help yourself.
There goes a big baby.
No one's. You haven't had this amount of like affirmation before. People like. It feels weird and it catches you off guard, and to see a city rejoice in your presence it just floors you, blows you away. The screams, celebration, the joy kind of quiets down for a second. Laryl Silverhand looks back at you all. Thanks. Thankfulness. Joy, it reverberates in the hearts of every man, woman, and child that lives throughout Faerun. The Sword Coast will forever remember you. You gave the Sword Coast teeth to fight back. You gave it a heart to will. You gave it a mind to think. You gave it love to give. That being said, it is my greatest honor and my first official bequeathing of an award of honors to be provided to our sword, our heroes. As the Open Lord of Waterdeep, I humbly and graciously and gratefully award you the honors of a station as Sword of the Council. A station that will be held by you wherever you go. The Lord's Alliance, the people of the Elven Forests, and the dwarves within their proud mountains. You can see Conrad Braunanvil looks as if like he was trying to make sure she said a specific phrase and was like, right, absolutely. Have all gathered and have confirmed that you are awarded the highest respects, the highest of honors, and
Thank you.
You're
Mucho
welcome.
appreciado.
You're welcome, and the highest of no one will forget you. You will go down in the annals of history. I mark this year 1489 of the Dalareckoning for you all to be regarded as heroes in the year of the warrior princess.
Who's the warrior princess?
That's the name of the year. Yeah, they name their years. It's kind of like a Chinese New Year system, but they don't like recycle.
What was the last year?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, buddy. How about that? One by one, we'll be providing these honors. They come, and she has a case that's kind of apparated right next to her, and it opens with this like, and you see these pins. These pins have a massive sword as like the basis of it, with a like a plated fist, which is the symbol of Torm, the god of justice, and then a sword that kind of runs across it. These were designed by a friend of yours, as you can see. Onthar Froome is actually present, and he's kind of behind everyone, along like with Leos and Erlanthar. These were the design was created in all considerations, and we are very honored to provide this for you. So we will go in order. Daggle Never Ember comes up and grabs the first one. He picks it up off of its little socket, because they're like affixed in this weird like felt pocket. And he walks up to Lux. With this pin, we bless you with honors. You have been marked not only by the peoples of Faerun, but its gods. Their gods. We see greatness within you. We receive greatness from you. Do you pledge to uphold the ideals of justice and honor, and virtue and love, and to seek for the peace and safety of the realm?
Always.
And you will always have a home in Neverwinter. And he goes ahead and fixes the pin to you, and he goes and walks back. Tarn Thunderspells. Mr. Hornblade comes up, grabs the pin, he walks to you. Not in a long time
I fucking love this
have
guy.
I seen
I love this guy.
such a creative and well proficient, some might say mastered, artist of the arcane such as yourself, Nute Amikir. But not only are you an artist in the weave, in magic, in the ether, you resemble the archetype of redemption. Through that, we as people can look at our enemies, can look at those that may have harmed us with grace. We can fill our hearts with understanding, and we can seek for the betterment of the world around us by seeing the best in the people in front of us, and we get that from you. That's a fear that so many, his voice kind of quivers a bit, so many lost, and you gave that back. I don't say fancy things like Never Ember says, so just if you want Silvery Moon, I highly recommend it. Feel free, head my way. We can learn a great many things. And he goes, or Candlekeep, your choice. Bunch of nerds. And then he goes and affixes your medal and kind of takes a step back. The next one to pop up is Romalia Haventree. Romalia Haventree goes, now before we, can you, and they go ahead and cast Thaumaturgy. Before we continue, it is very important that I, on behalf of the Harpers, bestow a very important recognition that was given to me. It is in order that renown has been received. A promotion is in order for both of our agents. Lux Everest and Nute Amikir. You both are officially bright candles. Agents of such renown within the Harpers organization that you are regarded as heroes, even amongst our own kind. Just mere moments away from becoming the wisest of owls, we bestow this honor upon you and look forward to the great many things and secrets
Now we can't
that you
party
preserve.
up anymore.
And you both are considered bright candles, which is a whole 2 steps above Watcher.
So you're telling me you
Degrees
went
above
from
Watcher.
silver to platinum?
No.
What's the
You
highest?
guys, for a second, you guys are kind of caught, like, hold on. Nute?
Yeah, when did that never came out? I don't
Because
think.
I never
I don't
mentioned
think.
it.
Yeah, I don't think it ever came out.
Never was
Steve.
brought up. The
Surprise.
best Harper agent ever, right here. But,
He's the mole.
Because we already knew one was in it, we didn't suspect another one.
actual.
like the space guy meme always
She goes ahead
was.
and she goes ahead and backs off, and the next one to walk up is actually Conrad.
Braun
Ron
Anvil.
Anvil. Well, I was going to say a lot of colourful words, but Proud Mountains was actually a really good one. So here's what I'll say: Dwarvish heart, Dwarvish spirit, Dwarvish stone. It's unbreakable. We are titans of resolve. That's what we're known for. That and our gadgetry. Yeah. We
Just live it in.
we breed the best of warriors. We breed the hardest of hearts. The heartiest. I would say of all. And you can see Maladrock kind of rolls his eyes for a moment and kind of pinches his nose. Oh, lords. And some of us get to enjoy the finer things in life, but for those that live under the mountains know the importance of hearth and home. It's an importance that is no longer at threat of being lost because of you all. And I think that there's no one here that's got a greater heart like a dwarf than this man Hakon. You are a big-hearted man. You're a big man. He's big. And with that, we are very grateful for what you've done to inspire us as dwarves. We have kept to our mountains. We've kept to our halls. And while that's probably not going to change, our doors won't be closed as much as they have been. There's people worth fighting for, and there's friendships worth having. And I would be lying to you if I said that there wasn't going to be a time where I found myself standing next to an elf and, enjoying breaking bread with the man. So at least you gave me that, to see worlds that are so apart, to see them so similarly. So with that, we go ahead and bestow this honor to you, and just know that you eternally, for showing me that heart, you will forever be known as a dwarfish friend. That's the highest honor we could award a non-dwarf, so please don't spoil it.
I'll do my best.
I need to drink now. It's time for ale. And he goes and kind of like saunters off, and King Melandrock begins to go and step forward. Your father stops him. And he kind of leans in, and Melandrock goes, "Why, of course," and hands the medal over to him.
I would rather have King Melandrock. It'd have been cooler to have a king than my dad.
Oh, that's
Your
so
dad
sad.
is a king.
I'm kidding.
I'm pretty sure.
No, he's just a noble. He's a noble.
No.
I'm kidding.
He walks up and goes,
King
"Son,
of rock and roll.
today I refer to you as someone that I don't know. I don't know. But I have heard so many stories of your exploits in the past week, past few months. Your mother and I are beyond proud. We're proud of you. We are very, very, very grateful to have been given the honor of birthing you. And unfortunately, as that was as far as we were able to provide, that we were able to usher you into this world. This world is a better place because you're in it. And that makes me so much more excited, and your mother so much more excited to get to know everything we can about you. Because of that, the elves of Mithranor, the nobles, have acquiesced to my request. If you wish, and I know this is thrust upon you quite surprisingly, that you are to be given full capacity to emancipate yourself from my name of Tianborn, to not have to adopt it, and begin your own noble house and line as Greenleaf, to allow a new leaf to turn in our family history, and to allow you to be the master of your destiny, and to craft a future that you see fit, and you have my full backing in whatever exploit and adventure you wish to do.
That's a great honor. It's honestly, I didn't even expect this, and even if I choose to separate our names, just know that you know you are
always
my
be my
father.
son. He cries the minute you guys say that at the same time. You see the tears break, and he holds
Hakon
himself.
cries.
He's not like blubbering. He's like, no, you can see the tears are falling down, and he goes, "I am so proud of you. I just want you to know that always." And he goes ahead and fixes the pin to you, and he goes and backs off, and you can see he gets like a little punch from your mom, who's also like ugly crying, absolutely bawling, and she gets like a, "You're totally crying, like you're totally crying." Your brother's sitting there like
Crying.
no, like kind of pissed off a little, like this guy. Who is this guy? Laryl Silverhand kind of takes back the stage. Before tonight, we feast, we celebrate, we revel. And upon tomorrow, we begin anew. To the people of Waterdeep, your peace, your joy, your protection was hard fought. And the four standing above you and before you put everything on the line for this. Do not squander it. We have a responsibility to maintain this peace, to maintain this joy. So we celebrate till we drop tonight. But tomorrow we begin anew. As your lord, as your lady, I am beyond honored to be able to lead you in that. But it will require every single one of you. These four heroes put their lives on the line. They toppled a god. And while epics and poems will be forged in their name, and swords and shields and stories will be crafted of them, their legacy lives on through you. Do not forget them. And let them rest. They've earned it. For those who wish to take the adventuring lifestyle, look to these heroes as proof that you can do it. I was told
Oh no.
by Governor Tarball
So many
Nighthill
people that died.
of the town of Greenest that the majority of this band of legends were just a group of runaways and stowaways in the small town of Greenest, farming and living their lives. They slayed a god
Not far off.
and many dragons.
Based.
Let their legend inspire you. And with that, I encourage everyone to remember to stay safe. She starts going through like this, like just instructions of like how the celebration should be, and with like a final call off, everyone explodes into cheer. The platform lowers, and you guys get a moment to kind of separate and enjoy a lot of the time. Hakon, amongst that time, you get the opportunity to propose to Vidania. And while you didn't have the time to craft a beautiful proposal, because who does that in the middle of Faerun after killing gods, you are met with a resounding yes.
Who's gonna say no to one of the most popular people in the world right now, dude? Dude, who would fucking...
You are met with a resounding yes.
Hell
And with
yeah.
that, hope for Hakon's future is looking just super bright. And it's good. And you all are happy and you celebrate amongst friends, like as friends. And Leosin celebrates with you. All of the people that you've met on your journey. Onthark Froome, Leosin, Linon Swift,
My
Vidania.
boys.
Einar is even here. He's uncomfortable because he doesn't do the city life, but he does his best. Can't King Melandrot gets some time where he gets to kind of, be around you while, drinks are jovial. Sir Istval, and you see other members of the council kind of spread out throughout. And eventually, you get approached by he's a very majestic-looking man. Celestial in appearance, kind of like a palish skin with golden hue. Flecks in his eyes are gold. His hair looks Greek, looks godlike in its flowing style. And he does have a wreath around that's Roman in style, but pure gold. I like these leaves that go forward. He's got a gold, platinum, and purple designed armor that goes around him. Lux.
What?
If I don't look like this, the kids keep asking me to blow bubbles. I was hoping to get a few minutes of your time. It is Pro Panther. This is my human form. I have been blowing smoke rings all day.
That's so funny, dude. That's what it looks.
Yes, of course, yes.
He goes ahead and carries you off to there's a gazebo that's kind of off to the side, and surprisingly no one's around it, just for the sake of fun. And you hear the party off in the distance, and I did some inquiries with many of the planetars, the angels that serve Lord Bahamut, and some of the divining entities that serve Agma. It was uncovered that upon the cleansing of your brother's body of his infernal perversion, that an uncorrupted portion of his soul was cast out into quite a distance away.
That's heavy.
It's safe for now. But I imagine that you would want to retrieve that.
100%.
Good. Then, once celebrations are done, we are not pressed for time. You and I can depart when you are ready to go and do so.
Bring some help.
I also wanted to say, if you tell anyone of this, I will burn you alive.
Of course. Makes sense.
That I thank you for reigniting the fire that should burn with my title. Justice is not just if it's partial, and I am humble in stating that my hubris, in my anger towards the cult of the dragon, caused me to see past you mortals. And you and your friends helped with that. The metallic dragons know that our goal, our purpose, what we were designed for, was to protect creation. And it is a goal that we have let grow stagnant. But not anymore. And you gave that to us, you and your friends. But if you tell anyone, I will deny it endlessly and then burn you alive.
Secret safe with
You're sitting there going, I'm immune to fire, buddy. You can try it.
The big old baby.
With that, a night of of revelry ends. And the chapter of a long journey does as well. Because of that, I will give each of you all an opportunity to close out your individual stories. So, we can start with you, Arboris. Following the events that have transpired so far, what would be the most pressing things and maybe some of the more long-term goals that Arboris would wish to see done with the time that he now has?
I would officially accept their offer of turning Greenleaf into the name of a noble house.
A new noble house has been formed. What would be your focus of your house? You have your father's full financial backing.
It would be monastery practice. Like, what is the term for like monk practice? Like, it'd be a dojo for like monk training, basically.
Yeah, so you would be in Mithranor, and you're bringing the ways of the Kensei. You're allowing that legacy to live on in the elves, and kind of integrating a new aspect into their culture, and bringing in not only just the fighting and the mindset and the weaponry, but also some of the elements that you haven't had the pleasure of really enjoying over the course of your journey: the calligraphy, the writing, the level of just insight and enlightenment. And yeah, you bring that into Mithranor and develop a monastic temple just outside of Mithranor that you claim is both like your noble your noble lands, and as well as the monastery with which you live. And quite a few monks have gathered, and you gather a good grip of monastic masters who have spent years in studious enlightenment, as well as those that have perfected their martial craft, a wide range of martial artists that help you train the next generation of warriors, just as you were trained once long time ago. And it's not long before that is takes a few months to craft everything, and it takes a few more months to gather the people. Within the year, everything ends exactly as you pictured it. Just like a little slice of your old home mixed with your new home.
Cool. That's awesome.
Nute, what would you do?
I'd probably go back to my homeland, which was, I believe it was the Fae. Right?
Yep.
I'd probably go back there.
Fae Wolf.
I mean, I feel like probably before that, probably help the Harpers a little bit more, considering I am an elf.
Yeah, there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and helping with the restructuring of society, because there's a lot of like infrastructure that was damaged. Communications between cities needs to kind of be reorganized, and you actually help them prepare. So this is a cool part. You help them prepare kind of procedures and systems that are in place in the event of these like large scale threats come into play, like how the towns and cities are to communicate with each other, especially amongst the Harpers, and how the faction communicates within itself, but how the Harpers utilize that information, one, preemptively against the Black Network, against the Zentarum, to ensure that they don't get the upper hand in the information war, but also to alert the many factions as swiftly as possible. So in the event of these large scale problems, you actually have a hand in creating the system that ensures that it doesn't catch the world unprepared. That takes you quite some time. It's a very meticulous effort, and after some testing of it, just making sure that the system works as it was intended, you're finally able to have some peace and freedom to depart from the lands and to head home and find respite after a long journey. You've left an imprint on the world and the way that people view each other, and the way that people are able to look up towards people and to look across and see the people that are in front of them, and to not miss that. And you leave knowing that you left the world a better place than when you first came.
Nah.
You get married.
Hakon's journey's done, dude. He's following Vidania, bro. I'm just
What
her
is
I'm just her bodyguard now. Whatever her adventure is, Hakon.
Taking the submissive role in your marriage.
Hell yeah.
She
Not stay at home though.
no.
She like active
She brings you to the city of Neverwinter, where you two settle down. You're able to get she gets a nice
Okay.
home.
She quits
No
working
more
for
murder.
my father.
She's able to. Yeah, she's able to no longer have to work for him because you've been found and you were hired. She was hired really to find you, and
Oh, I see.
the relationship is actually very strong. So you two actually see each other a lot more than anyone else out of the four of you
Nice.
because you have that connection with Vidania. So you guys get a very massive house, and you also have a getaway retreat so that when you have to get out of the cities, that you have that capacity. Where would you like that retreat to be? She curtails it to your desires, so she asks for your input specifically.
Your desire.
It can be Greenest, Parnast, it can be anywhere you so choose. As long as it's remote and gives you that freedom
You're-
from
I want it to be just
Your village.
like 5 miles outside my village, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit outside of it. Up in the Great Peak Mountains though, somewhere.
Your tribe actually decides to
Unless
break away from its nomadic nature, and they actually start to head down south from the Great Peak Mountain Range. If you remember, there's a village that's down south of the Great Peak Mountain Range, the village of Chantal's Tower,
Yeah.
where Jad, the priest of Sylvanas, is. And they actually begin to integrate themselves with that village. Now that the Cult of the Dragon's out and a dragon's gone, since that's where Lenathon was laired, they're not very well protected, and your tribe provides them with the perfect opportunity. Their level of agriculture, their knowledge of wildlife becomes instrumental to this town's thriving and
Best
their
trade
success.
deal in the
And so,
history of trade
and so you're
deals,
able to
dude.
get a retreat in Jean-Thal's Tower. You get to see Jad. You get to see
Did they rename
everyone
that?
in your
Did
tribe.
they rename the city to Cardinal?
To what?
I don't think Vidania would like her last name to
No kidding.
her maiden name.
Alright,
Because she's now Vidania Gunts.
Scottsdale.
You gave her a terrible last name.
What's wrong with cunts, dude?
Is she hyphen?
Just not Jean-Thal's Tower.
What about Hakon's Tower?
No. No. What if we call it
Vidania's Tower.
no. I guess we didn't really.
The name gets changed to Eternia, and it's supposed to be a mixture of Elvish and Sylvan combined for the concept of eternity, and really more so like familial perpetuity. With
I'm a fan.
the gathering of your people's culture and the nature of the ancestral reverence that your people have, and how much of that was rooted in a it roots itself in familiarity with the worshippers of Sylvanas, so you two actually get along, and it allows this place in the world where not just it's where death isn't really like a thing to be feared, because it doesn't it's a pause in the eternal tale of life, because the spirits of the ancestors, the spirits of the ancestors are always here, and they always watch, and they're always looking out for them. A fate that will befall you one day. But adventure also pulls at your heartstrings, and so you and Vidania occasionally go off on the slight quest to
Kill a giant or two.
well, you know, if the giants come knocking, or if there's a dragon that happens to be kind of knocking around, then you and Vidania and Einar go off, and 'cause he gets reintegrated back into the clan.
My
So
boy.
they redeem his familial line, his ancestry, and Scory's line is no longer declared as like taboo, so he's brought back into the clan full time. So the three of you go off and adventure occasionally. But you spend the majority of your time back in Neverwinter, so that's where the majority of your day-to-day is spent, where Vidania is more confident. She's able to do a lot of her own stuff as a diviner. She is able to, you know, practice divination and try to divine things that benefit the people of Neverwinter, and so that works in that favor.
I'm down with it.
Perfect. And Lux.
We'll definitely retrieve his brother's fragment of his soul, right?
The soul fragment, yeah.
What does that do?
You and
You put him in a sword.
Procanther hire a
Swing around freaking Nox.
you hire. Actually, we'll say this because this will give us something to do in the event that we ever need to use this as like a one shot in the future. You gather your companions
I'm a
for
fan.
one last adventure. And it's an adventure that is to retrieve the fragment of your brother's soul. It is an adventure that, for the sake of this story, is successful, and you're able to retrieve his soul from the Shadowfell, a plane of negativity, of darkness, of shadows, where his soul stands as like an uncorrupted and innocent fragment of light, a small sun amidst a sea of darkness.
No way we kill Tiamat and die in a fucking...
And you are able to retrieve it, and
You never know. You never know.
you aren't able to like
Slip it
really
in
do
your head
anything.
one day,
You can
dude.
usher it on
Oh,
to
you're done.
the afterlife if you so wish, but there is also a tangible soul element that is available for you.
What does that mean? Tangible?
You can put it in a sword.
There is something left.
Can you bring him back to life?
Put him in a baby. You can raise
Capture it.
him.
Capture it.
You can raise your brother.
Put him inside a doll.
That'd be weird.
Or a sword. If you put him inside a baby, then you have to get rid of the life inside of the baby.
Just
I
saying,
feel like
dude.
being put in a sword is like a curse.
It's pretty meta.
I would honestly probably try and push him off to the afterlife.
You would let him pass on.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
a true soul reaper.
I wouldn't.
Ichigo would be proud.
You hand him off to the solar angels of Bahamut, who bring him into the plains of Elysium, where he is provided with eternal life. In Elysium, he's provided protection. As you are a champion of Bahamut, you are a walking champion of Bahamut. That realm is not outside of your reach. You are gifted the ability to plane shift only to the realm of Elysium, so that you can visit the king's court
And your
with
brother?
the king's justice and Bahamut himself, as well as get some time to spend with a celestially reimagined version of what your brother would look like had he not been corrupted by darkness. So it looks comparable to you and it's a personality that you have to kind of learn because it's the elements of that childlike state that was just destroyed that you never got to see. So it's your brother, but it doesn't really feel like it because he's completely foreign to you, and so you're learning about this fragment of him that was locked away, and you at least get the satisfaction of knowing that you're able to free that. And now outside of that, what would you like to do with your time in the world?
What Lux would want to do is he can finally return to Waterdeep, and he wants to make a home there.
Yeah.
But what I would want to do is start in a Little Leagues adventuring guild where I'm teaching little kids to become adventurers.
You pull some of your connections with Harper's, and you get involved with some of the different adventuring leagues. The Yawning Portal Tavern, Durnan is a great help because adventurers come to him all the time. Because the whole point of the Yawning Portal is like an adventure hub. And so you get to kind of travel the world, or at least the land of the Sword Coast more specifically. You do visit Schult a little bit because Port Nyanzaru has a Cholton Adventurers Guild, so they do send you out there, especially because the jungle sometimes has undead present, and that's like a common foe, and you're perfect in kind of combating that. And you get to see new cultures. They send you to Icewind Dale. They send you, kind of all around wherever you want. And travel's not really a worry because you can just operate wherever you wish. But wherever there's youth, wherever there's a hope for the next generation of adventurers, you're there, and you are guiding and ushering, and quite literally, you're passing off the light. You're passing off the torch. You're passing off the flame to the next one so that they can do what you were able to do, and they can be confident and also be given the guidance that you never were. You had to learn all of your abilities on your own. You perfected them over time. You perfected them on your adventures, and you watched your allies do the same. But to have this much intentionality, you feel confident that the next realm of adventurers would have such a greater leg up in the event that things were to happen that you never did. And that's an imprint that, for those that were fortunate enough to get you as some level of like a little league instructor, to it's a benefit for the few that are able to have that.
Lux's little leagues.
Lux's little leagues. Yeah, Lux's little leagues of adventurers. I'm gonna have to write that one down.
Below.
That's not canon. Perfect. And with that, our adventure comes to an end.
No.
Our adventure does come to an end.
Nah.
The world of
It's
Oral,
over.
the realm of Faerun, the Sword Coast, is peaceful. For now. There will always be dragons, there will always be giants, there will be cultists and murderers, thieves and liars.
And bears.
And bears.
Oh my.
Yeah, and bears oh my. What you don't see, what you don't see is a throne room, the scale of which towers that of normal men. A featureless figure stands peering into a pool. This feature, this figure, infuriated. You see, or what you don't see, but what is present, is a cord. This cord is attached to a collection of floating celestial figures that change in appearance, but they're organized quite specifically. He looks at these figures and says, "To hell with it. You couldn't do anything in this world. So go and fight amongst yourselves." And he pulls on the cord and it shatters. As that happens, these figures, these forms, the order that they're in separates, and it kind of widens this gap between each of these forms. And this figure sits in his chair, looking at this pool, as the forms begin to start moving. And that's where we leave. And that is the end of our 5th edition adventure, The Rise of Tiamat, as we conclude our first campaign here at the Couch Cooperative with Tyranny of Dragons.
Oh. That's crazy. That's
Fun fact.
Crazy.
When I was first playing Dungeons and Dragons, my first character was a cleric, but he died in like 3 sessions. And my very first major character was this little guy right here. I made a bronze dragonborn paladin of Bahamut. We played for about 11 months, had a great DM, and a great group of friends, and unfortunately we died after 11 months. We TPK'd, and that was rough. But immediately after that, I decided to bear the mantle of becoming a dungeon master. And granted, I'd only been playing Dungeons & Dragons for about 11 months. This was the first campaign that I ever ran, and I maybe ran it up until, I think, I never got past Castle Neritar in the swamp with the lizard folk and the frog people.
No way.
Never got that far. That was even before we got you.
Did everyone die?
Scheduling. Yeah, just classic D&D stuff. But this is also now the first full-length campaign that as a dungeon master I've had the honor of completing. And it has been an honor guiding you through this adventure.
Playing, dude.
And with that being said, I look forward to our next set of heroes.
Oh man.
We will be playing in 3 weeks from today our session 1 of the Storm King's Thunder. It will be reasonably, it's probably going to be a shorter campaign than the Tyranny of Dragons. But I look very forward to it, as I know we've been working hard over the past few weeks to prep our characters, get our miniatures, and get our designs underway. It's going to be great to fulfill the remainder of the gaps that we have, so I look forward to that. And I'm excited. So, I don't want to give any spoilers for what characters we have. So, you will have to watch and look out for that. And we will not be live over the next 2 weeks. So just a reminder that next week and the week following, we will be present. We'll be in this room, but we will be busy working amongst ourselves to prepare. So, in 3 weeks, we will be back in streaming. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for bearing with us through this adventure, and really just investing your time, whether it was to catch up or to be present. Check us out and be live with us on Twitch, and you can follow us at Couch Co-op 5e, and we'd love to have you during our first session. For people that are live with us presently, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, for your energy. Thank you for your comments and chat, and for providing us with some fun call-outs that you're seeing, and some fun quips and little mementos and all the fun things. So we really appreciate everyone that's taking the time. We hope that this was a great tale. We hope this was a great adventure. As our goal within the Couch Cooperative is to bring stories to life. So we are super grateful for everyone that's taken their time to allow us to do so. And we look forward to seeing you in just 3 weeks' time. We know it's gonna feel like forever, but it's gonna be so worth it once we have everything ready, and once we get started. So we look forward to it. And with that,
it's only up.
It's only up. And with that, we're done.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank you so much. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time, and we hope you have a great rest of your night, great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon.
Good luck. Be safe.